Oh, hello, everyone. Welcome to our Flow and Restore practice on the second day of autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere. My name is Michelle Chua, and you'll want to have a couple of blocks, a strap, a blanket, and a bolster. Let's begin in a comfortable seated position of your choice. You may like to sit on any of your props to help you to relax the hips and lengthen the spine. And so yesterday we practiced a community forest bathing to welcome the fall equinox. And I was, the whole practice is about letting nature be our teacher as we're observing very mindfully and taking in the details through our different senses. And one of the things that strikes me always when I'm observing nature, very much so, is harmony. How nature teaches in so many different ways how to live in harmony through her ecosystems at the different levels of sustaining life, through her seasons, now as we're in fall, and how the trees begin to shed their leaves. The trees themselves are harmonizing with impermanence and going with the flow of what's to come, conserving their energy for winter by shedding the leaves. And so this brings me to thinking about harmony in our practice daily and of yoga, including asana, physical yoga. So what are the ways that your practices of yoga, from meditation, pranayama to asana, and daily life, the yamas and niyamas, support harmony for you? I'd like to read this short quote by Thich Nhat Hanh, who is a mindfulness teacher. And he said, if we are at war with our parents, our family, our society, or our church, there is probably a war going on inside us also. So the most basic work for peace is to return to ourselves and create harmony among the elements within us, our feelings, our perceptions, and our mental states, including our physical body. This is why the practice of meditation, or looking deeper, looking deeply, is so important. And though we're practicing on the alignment of our bodies in the physical yoga, there is a sense of concentration, which is the preliminary phase of meditation. So I invite you to notice in ways that you are practicing harmony, or how you can promote harmony, especially within the different dimensions of your being. All right. Let's begin by checking in and harmonizing, or being with whatever is present in us right now. So as you're sitting still and maybe closing your eyes, I invite you to notice your physical body, observing whatever sensations in different parts are happening. Without a need to judge what you're observing. Notice where you feel tense, notice where you feel open. And then sense the flow of the breath right now. Is it rushed? Is it regular or irregular? Is it deep or shallow? Feel into the breath without changing or controlling it. What is your breathing telling you about your mind and your energy right now? And how can your approach to your yoga practice promote harmony in your energy, in your mind? Sense the state of your mind and your emotions. Notice the quality of your attention. Are you finding it easy to focus in the present moment? Are you caught up in a story about the past? Or is your mind fixated on anticipating something in the future? Observe without judging. And now let's begin to slow the breath down, filling up through the nostrils, into the lungs, towards the belly, and then out through the mouth very slowly. Each new breath, slightly deeper, feel where you can expand just a little bit more in your body with the breath. Emptying it again to your mouth a few more times. And as you continue to slow down your breathing, let's bring the practice of gratitude here, as it's such a powerful way to awaken our hearts, open our minds, and expand our being. And so, what is someone or something that you could offer gratitude for as you're beginning your practice? And now begin to cultivate your intention, or set your intention, or your personal prayer. What do you want to direct your energy towards? Cultivating, reinforcing. And then thinking of those around us that we could support through our efforts in our practice. Is there somebody you might like to dedicate today's practice to? And together, let's join our voices in support of each other by chanting the seed sound Om, the sound of interconnection, 3 times. Let in a full breath. And so one of the ways we can promote harmony in our nervous system, in our minds, our bodies, is through how we're regulating our breathing. So let's begin a practice called Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breath, that helps us to invite balance of energy and calm and focus. So closing your lips, if you can, continue to breathe through your nose and softly narrow the back of your throat so that as you're breathing, you can hear a gentle whispering sound. Can you hear your breathing? Now, as you listen to your breath, start to invite the qualities of smoothness, fluidity, lengthening the inhalation very slowly, and lengthening the exhalation just as slowly. Listen to the transitions between your breaths, smoothing them out, and making sure that the breath is not erratic or rushed. It's very slow, steady, calm, and smooth. So as we start to move the body, if the breath is no longer those qualities, do what you need to slow down your body, or if you're holding a pose, back off a little so you're not holding it so intensely. Adjust what you're doing physically so that you're harmonizing with those qualities of calmness, balance, steadiness, and ease. Remembering that you could always rest in order to do that as well. So listening to your breathing, that Ujjayi pranayama or victorious breath. Let's start to make our way into downward facing dog. So today's going to be an overall physical, working on different areas of the body to open up and strengthen. We also had a request by our live community to stretch the calves a bit. So let's start in downward dog, paddling the feet. So as you lift the hips high and spread the fingers flat on the ground, inhale as you bend one knee and press the opposite heel into the ground. Take your time. Exhale as you press the other heel down, bending the other knee. Keep going, really slow. Harmonizing your movements to the slow pace of your breath. And thus setting the tone not only for your body, but for your mind to slow down a bit. Especially if you had to rush or do quite a few things today mentally or physically. Let this practice be a slowing down and bring harmony to your day. Couple more petals, couple more breaths. As you press down with both palms, inhale, raise your right leg behind you. And exhale, softly step the foot forward beside your right thumb. Lower your back knee to the floor, and if it helps to relax the shoulders, place your hands on blocks. Otherwise, fingertips on the ground right beneath the shoulders. Now, as you breathe in, let your pelvis sink a little so you're gently opening up into the inner thighs and groins. As you breathe out, lift your back knee, but keep your feet where they are. Draw your right outer hip back, straightening your legs to what's comfortable for now, and bow as if you have a flat back. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Take your time to move just as slowly as each part of the breath. Exhale, pyramid pose again, bowing in. Let's keep going for 3 more cycles. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Then step back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, empty this breath. Then inhale, glide forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. As you exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward and soften your shoulders back and down in cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Firming in the belly, exhale, press up to plank and lift your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, gently step it forward beside your left thumb and lower your right knee. Keep the back toes tucked. Fingertips on blocks or the floor. Inhale, let your pelvis sink as you're lifting your chest. Kneeling lunge. Exhale, feet stay where they are. Scissor the left outer hip back towards straightening both legs to your degree. Bow as if you have a flat back. Pyramid pose. Again, inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. 3 more cycles. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, go right into plank pose and pause. On an exhale again, lower knees, chest, Shin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slide forward into Cobra, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, hug the elbows in. Exhale, firm your belly and press up to plank pose. And lift your hips back to downward dog. Pause here for 2 breaths. Let your eyes steady on one point. When you've emptied the second breath, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Press your hands on your shins, 2 blocks or the ground, and inhale, lengthen your torso forward to half forward fold. Exhale, fold in, drop the head. Press down to your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rising all the way up. Interlace your fingers, flip the palms inside out, drop the shoulders, stand tall. Exhale to your right, side bend, pressing the heels of the palms towards your right wall. Inhale, rise as you stretch the spine a little taller. Exhale to your left, side bend, pressing the heels of the palms towards the left wall. Inhale, rise back through center, and exhale, join your palms in prayer at your heart center. Reconnect to your intention that you're focusing on during this practice. Continuing to harmonize our movements to our breaths. Let's bring harmony to our heart minds as we also offer gratitude to the sun. Surya Namaskar A. Sun salutation A. Breathing in, sweep your arms overhead and roll the shoulders back, lift your heart up. Breathing out, hinge forward from the hips. Plant your fingertips on your shins, blocks or the floor. Inhale, lengthen your torso forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step into plank pose and engage your abdomen as you exhale to glide forward, and grazing your elbows by your ribs, pause in Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. We're going to insert some standing postures here. So inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, bend the knee and turn out your right thigh at the hip. As you stay there, inhale, draw your left hip back. Exhale, bend the right knee towards your nose, rounding in plank. Step the foot directly between the hands. Spin the left heel down, align right heel to arch of left foot, and inhale to Warrior Two. Exhaling here. Inhale, straighten your legs, raise your arms, catch hold of your right wrist, keep the legs straight, and exhale, side bend towards the rear wall, reverse triangle pose. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, Warrior Two. So we're in a flow here again. Inhale, straighten the legs, catch the right wrist, keep the legs straight. Exhale, reverse triangle pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Last time. Inhale, straighten the legs, catch your right wrist. Exhale, reverse triangle pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Now let's pause in Warrior Two, steadying your gaze just past the right fingertips. About 4 more deep breaths. Notice your mind as you're listening to your breathing. Keep your right knee bent. Inhale, sweep the right arm towards your back wall in Peaceful Warrior. Ride the wave of the exhale down from plank to Chaturanga, taking it through your vinyasa, Cobra or upward dog. As you arrive in downward dog, pause, cultivate stillness for 2 deep breaths. Then inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend the left knee and turn out your left thigh at the hip. Staying here, inhale, draw your right hip back. Exhale, bend the left knee towards your nose, rounding in plank. Softly step the foot between your hands. Spin the right heel down. Align left heel to arch of right foot. Inhale to cartwheel the arms in warrior two. Staying here as you exhale. Inhale, straighten your legs, raise your arms, catch hold of your left wrist. As you keep the legs straight, exhale, side bend towards your rear wall, reverse triangle. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend the left knee back to warrior two. Couple more cycles like that. Inhale, straighten the legs. Take hold of your left wrist. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, legs straight, arms overhead. Hold the left wrist. Exhale, side bend, reverse triangle. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two. Now plant your gaze, cultivate stillness as you observe what's happening internally here. 4 more breaths. Keep your left knee bent, flip the left palm up. Inhale, peaceful warrior, side bending. Exhale all the way down into your vinyasa. Follow your breath pace. Arriving in downward dog, pause and observe 2 deep breaths. When you've emptied the second, walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to half forward fold. Exhale, fold in. Rooting down through your soles, inhale, rise. Lifting your heart towards the sky in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands in prayer in mountain pose. Let's flow continuously through sun salutation B for 1 round. Inhale, bend your knees together, sit low and lean towards your heels, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, shift your weight forward and bow, Uttanasana. Press with your hands, inhale, lengthen to Ardha Uttanasana. Flow through your vinyasa at your pace of breath. When you arrive in downward facing dog, inhale, raise your right leg, but keep your hips leveled. Exhale, step the foot quietly beside the right thumb, spin the back heel down. Inhale, rise to stand in warrior one. Ride your exhalation down into your vinyasa. Moving at your pace of breath. When you arrive in downward dog, inhale, raise the left leg, keeping the hips leveled. Exhale, step the foot gently beside your left thumb, drop the right heel. Inhale, rise to Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale to lower into your vinyasa. Downward dog, pause for 3 to 5 breaths. Notice what you're observing in your mind, body, energy, breath. When your breath sounds smooth, steady, and calm, empty it before you walk or float to the front of your mat. With feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen to half forward fold. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit low in chair pose. And exhale to rise up. So shift your weight onto your left foot. I'm going to mirror you here. And bend your right knee in front of you, flexing the foot, finding your balance as you stand tall. Draw the right hip down to level with the left hip and feel the strength of your center right below the belly button. Now rotate your right thigh externally from the hip and hug the sole of your right foot against your inner left ankle, calf, or thigh, entering tree pose. Rooting down through the four corners of the left foot, rise up through your spine. If your balance feels stable, you might consider raising the arms, maybe opening them, maybe looking up, maybe closing your eyes. But notice how you are harmonizing with what's arising for you. For example, if it's very wobbly and challenging to balance, what decisions are you making in this pose so that you can harmonize with that wobbliness? If you're feeling very stable and rooted and expansive, what decisions are you making in this posture to harmonize with that? So rather than resisting with what might be coming up for you in a posture or your mind, bringing acceptance and working with the flow of it. Let's join the hands in prayer for one more inhalation. And exhale, step your right foot down. Pausing here, let in a deep breath. And let it go. Shifting your weight onto your right foot, flex your left foot in front of you. Pause and feel into your balance first. Feel into your center. Feel the ground under your right foot. How is your breath promoting balance? And then from your left hip socket, rotate your left thigh externally and hug the inside of your right ankle, calf, or thigh with the sole of your left foot. Feel a sense of hugging the midline of your body from both left and right sides. Feel a sense of rooting into the earth and rising up taller. And then notice how you might explore what variation of this posture is available for you right now as you're practicing harmony with what's in your experience in this present moment. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Then bringing your palms together at your heart, let in one more deep breath. And then exhale, step it down. Another breath in. And let it go. All right. Let's set the feet wide apart, parallel to each other. And if you think you might want to use blocks in front of you, if the ground feels a bit low, you can place the blocks in front of you. And let's start with a hands clasped behind you. We'll open up the fronts of the shoulders a bit more. If you can hug the heels of the palms together like this, try that. Otherwise, you could also hold a strap between the hands. As you breathe in, roll the shoulders back and down, lifting your chest. As you breathe out, shift your weight forward and hinge from your hips. Invite your pelvis to rock forward so that it's aligned with your ankles. Completely drop your head. If it helps you to relax your neck and lengthen your spine more easily, bend your knees. Breath by breath, stretch the arms away from your lower back to open up the front of your shoulders. Bending the elbows slightly, lift your shoulders and drop your head. You might even gently shake and nod your head to help loosen up your neck. Notice if the jaw feels tense, you might flutter your lips or sigh with the tongue out in lion's breath. Now lower your hands either on blocks or the ground. And inhale as you stretch your spine forward parallel to the ground. Place one hand down, front and center of you, and raise the opposite arm. Begin to twist in that direction. Keep the pelvis still and breathe in. Stretch the crown of your head forward. Send the shoulders down your back. As you breathe out, pelvis still, keep rotating in the same direction in your twist. Feel your top hand reaching up towards the sky, helping to open the front of the shoulder. Breathing wide across your wingspan. Exhale, switch hands. Keep your pelvis still, raise the opposite arm. Breathe in, stretch your spine forward. Exhale as you twist in the other direction. And now from here, take hold of your right calf with both hands and just hug it in for a few breaths. If it helps to bend the left knee while you do that so the right leg can remain straight, you can. Try to relax the neck. Notice the sensations in the back of your right leg, including your calf. What feels most alive in your body as you're in this posture right now? Just acknowledging it without judging it. And then take hold of your left calf. If it helps to reach it more easily, bend your right knee. Now, hands on blocks or hands on the floor. Crawl your hands to the front of your mat and pivot to face the front in a lunge, stepping back to downward facing dog. Downward dog, turn out your right thigh at the hip and slide your right shin across your mat for single pigeon pose. As you lower to sit, tuck your left toes behind you with the left leg straight and plant your hands alongside your hips. Lift your pelvis off the ground and tack your right outer hip back. Rotate your left outer hip forward until both frontal hip bones are equally facing the front of your mat. Now, if there's a gap between your right glute and the ground, grab your blanket or whatever prop you can comfortably fill that gap with to support keeping your hips squared forward. Now relax your back toes and place the hands in front of you, lifting your chest. Take your time beginning to bow forward. You might grab a couple of blocks to stack and rest your forehead on. You might grab a pillow to bear hug. Let your torso be as relaxed as possible, so where your arms are not trying to hold your body up in this pose. We're going to be here for 2 minutes before we switch sides. Continue to rest your awareness on the flow of your breath. Now begin to press your hands into the earth, slowly lifting your head and torso. Start to make your way gently back into downward facing dog, in which you might want to lift your right leg up behind you and give it some gentle movement. Pause in downward dog with both feet on the ground for a couple of breaths and notice what you feel along your left and right hips and legs. Then from your left hip socket, rotate your left thigh externally and slide the left shin across your mat in front of your pelvis as you lower to sit with the right leg straight behind you and the toes tucked. Plant your hands alongside your hips and lift your pelvis, drawing the left hip back. Rotate your right outer hip forward so that your two frontal hip bones are equally facing the front of your mat. And if you need to support your left glute with a prop so that you can keep that and relax, please do. Untuck your right toes. Place any props you might need to catch your head, your arms, your torso, so that you're not using your hands to hold yourself up, but you're sort of surrendering your body in the posture. Now, with your awareness back to the breath and observing whatever arises within these 2 minutes of single pigeon pose. Let's be here. Gently pressing your hands into the ground, slowly lift your torso, bringing your body back into downward facing dog, where you might lift your left leg and give it some movement. Once again, I invite you to pause with both feet down in downward facing dog and notice how your body feels now, especially in your hips and legs. Come on down to hands and knees, tabletop, straighten your right leg behind you and tuck the toes. As you press your right heel back, stretch your chest forward and slightly lift the sides of your belly, not dumping into the lower back as we stretch the right calf just a little bit more. Stay here, or to deepen the stretch, cross the left foot on top of your right Achilles tendon, gently pulling the right heel back as you continue to stretch your torso forward. A few more breaths. Lower onto your knees and hands. And let's switch sides. Straighten the left leg, tucking the toes. Press the left heel back while stretching your chest forward. Lift the sides of your belly. Shoulders down the back. Either stay here or deepen the calf stretch by placing the top of your right foot at the area of your left Achilles tendon, gently pulling the left heel back as you stretch your torso forward. Set your knees on the ground and let's turn the hands to face the left and right walls or your knees, whatever degree you can stretch the inner wrists and forearms as we flow through 3 rounds of cat-cow, breathing in as you glide your chest forward, roll the shoulders back and down, gaze up. Breathing out as you lift the belly, dropping your head to dome your back. Twice more on your own. Relax to a neutral spine and sit back on your calves here. If your knees need support, they don't like to bend that deeply, you can place your folded blanket right behind the backs of your knees like this to lessen the bend in the knees. The thicker the blanket is folded, the more you're supporting the knees. And then from here, either take one knee at a time, lifting it with the hand on that side, stretching the front of the shin and top of the foot. Switch after maybe 5 breaths, so 5 breaths on each side, or lean back like a rocking chair and do both at the same time for about 10 breaths. This is one of my favorite stretches after a run or after flexing the feet quite a bit. Gently lower your legs and stretch them out in front of you. As we prepare for seated forward fold, you might grab a strap to place around the balls of your feet like this. If you find that when you bow forward, your shoulders tense around, so the strap gives you a little more leeway to relax the shoulders if needed. So flex your feet apart, hips distance, while pressing the insteps of your feet forward. Then press your sitting bones down to stretch your spine upwards. Breathing in, glide the shoulders down. Keep your neck long on all sides, and exhale, start to fold from your hips. Breathing in as you pause, pressing the pelvis down some more to stretch the spine longer. And breathing out to maybe fold even more. It's about 9 more breaths here in Paschimottanasana. Some of you might clasp your big toes with your peace fingers, if you could do so while still lengthening the neck and the rest of the spine. Rooting down to your sitting bones. Breathe in and lead with your chest to slowly rise up. You might circle out your feet or point and flex your toes, or any part of your body that needs some gentle circles and movements, like your shoulders or your neck. I'm going to invite you now into a supported fish pose using a couple of blocks. Excuse me. Placing one block either at the tallest height or the medium height at the back of your mat to rest your head on. Tallest height offers more support, so if you're not feeling too open in the fronts of the shoulders, go with the tallest height for your head. Medium height of the second block, either going across the width of your mat, where the blocks are spaced 5 to 6 inches apart, or orient that mat tracing the lengthwise midline of your mat, that block, I mean, and you can space the blocks 1 or 2 inches apart. And then keeping your pelvis on the ground, you can stretch the legs forward. If you want some lower back support, you could place a pillow under the backs of your knees like this. If you want some grounding support, you could place the folded blanket over your pelvis and belly like this. And then as you lie back, find the area that's right under the bottom tips of your shoulder blades to land on the closest edge of the closest block, so that your shoulders can release back and down, and the back of your head lands on the furthest block. So your neck is free to have its natural curvature. Front of the neck, back of the neck are spacious. And adjust the blocks as needed if there's any discomfort. Even just like a centimeter shift in any of the blocks can make such a difference. Invite symmetry as both shoulder bones release down and your shoulder blades slide down your back ribs. And not only in your upper body, but invite symmetry in your hips, legs, and feet. You might turn the palms to face up down by your sides to encourage the front of the shoulders to continue opening. And then trace your awareness throughout your body here and notice if your entire body is at rest. Or is there a part of your body that's still efforting right now? Is the belly contracted? Can you consciously relax your belly? How about your glutes or your pelvic floor? Feel into your facial muscles. Can you relax your jaw a little more? Your eyes, the skin on your forehead. So on your own, I invite you to scan throughout your physical body and notice if there are any parts you can consciously relax. Inviting a sense of harmony with all the different parts of your body, with your nervous system, with your mind, with your breath, as you sense the relaxation in your breathing. In fact, I'm going to invite you into a deeper relaxing breathing technique in which we exhale a little longer than we inhale. Specifically, I'll invite you to breathe into your nose and gently fill up your belly for 5 counts, and to breathe out through your lips very softly and to relax your belly even more for 7 counts. For about 3 cycles, and then on your own for another 3 cycles before we let go of controlling the breath. So let's prepare to start by breathing in fully through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And now gently inhale into the belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the lips for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5. Exhale 7. On your own, continue for 3 more cycles. And when you decide, let go of controlling your breathing. Feel the transition from controlled breath to relaxed, natural breath. As you continue to rest your awareness gently on the feeling of the breath subtly flowing in and out. And so now we enter corpse pose or shavasana. If you would like to remove any of the props, please do it gently and gradually, moving very slowly. We'll be in shavasana for a few minutes before our 5 minutes of sitting and meditation. As you continue to rest here with your eyes closed, notice how your physical body feels now. From the beginning of this practice to now, do you notice any difference? Listen to the way your body wants to begin waking up. Be gentle. You might start with small wiggles here and there before you ease into simple stretches. Maybe still keeping your eyes closed to help you tune inward. Taking your time, eventually turn over onto your right side, resting your head for a few moments. As you lie on your side, notice the flow of your breathing and sense how your energy feels now. Does that feel any different since the start of your practice? Then take your time lifting your body up to find a comfortable way to sit so that you can feel grounded, alert, and relaxed. Entering our 5 minutes of sitting in meditation. You might choose to place your hands in a mudra that promotes balance of the 5 elements, as we've been talking about harmony. The 5 elements that move through all of life: earth, water, air, fire, and ether, represented by each finger. So you bring the fingertips of each opposite hand together to touch as if you're holding a sphere between the palms, and let that sphere hover towards your navel center. Closing the eyes or steadying a gentle downcast gaze, let's begin our meditation by resting your awareness on the very subtle sensations that you can feel in between the fingertips touching. If your attention starts to feel restless and wanders away, give yourself the freedom to let go of where your attention has wandered to. And feel a sense of relaxing back into the simplicity of feeling the sensations between your fingertips. Let go and relax back as many times as the attention wanders. How does your mind feel now? And what emotions do you feel right now? As we bring our practice to a close, how might you continue to cultivate harmony within yourself outside of your formal practice? And notice how that affects your feeling of harmony with your environment and those beings around you when you're focusing on creating harmony within you. Let's take a moment to offer gratitude. Gratitude to the elements of nature that continuously harmonize within and around us. Mother Earth for the ways that she teaches us about harmony by example. And remember what your intention was. Remember to whom you dedicated your practice. Together, let's close chanting Om 3 times. Let in a deep breath. Bowing in towards your heart, honoring the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.